Shalom, Israel. With ISUPK, started out of one West, country district, all of North under Humanitarian Honor. Since 1969, the UPK has been teaching that Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Native Indians are the Lord's chosen people, the true biblical Israelites, according to the Bible. Today, law class. Before we get to tonight's class, I have a few announcements today. Located right here, 5261 Delmore Boulevard. St. Louis, Missouri, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday for the Sabbath. We have classes. Right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Right? Sabbath, 10 a.m. to noon. Right? Call in for that 712-832-8330 or 425-436-6260. And the access pin is 825-1636. That's what, brothers and sisters who can't make it to the school, tune in online, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all social media platforms. Right? Every Sunday, Sharpen Sword Radio, hosted by Captain 10,000, Farfar. Right? Every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Right? Call in for that at 712-832-8330. The access code is 910-1409. Today's law class, man, we get into, the Constitution written in the Bible, God's law, statutes, and commandments. That is Blacks and Hispanics Constitution. It's our moral compass. You understand? Without moral compass, without rules and regulations, it's chaos. Even growing up, whether your father may have rules in the household. You understand? And one thing about our people, man, is we so destroyed because we get further and further away from the Lord the more we try to join our oppressors, the more we try to mimic other nations of people. We get destroyed. We the only nation, Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Native Indians, are the only nation who has a living God. Other nations just have idols. You understand? They don't have a God. They don't, their Lord, their so-called God, did not put in front of them rules and regulations to help better their people. You know what I'm saying? Like we have, say you have a conflict with your brother, right? Your neighbor. You seek counsel. You understand? We address everything according to the scriptures. We don't lean into our own understanding. When you do that, you get destroyed, man. You understand? You get destroyed because you don't know how to deal with your brothers, right? You learn how to give your people grace. You know this truth on the commandments and honor. You learn how to give your people grace. A lot of people need grace. Society has different numbers. It took a toll on us. It got to the point to where we think this is just how life is supposed to be. That's how destroyed we are. You know what I'm saying? And Most High, he gave us rules thousands of years ago, our forefathers, rules and regulations. He said, if you do them, you inherit the kingdom. If you don't, you get cursed. You understand? The first scripture we're going to is in the book of Deuteronomy. Right? We're going to go to chapter 6, verse 14. Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 14. You shall not go after other gods of the people which are round about you. Who are those people, other nations of people? You understand, the Arabs, Africans, so-called white people, Russians, Turks, Iranians, you know what I'm saying? It's different tribes of people. You're not supposed to be following their way of life. Even in today's society, we live amongst other nations, but you don't go about like how they go about it. You understand? The Most High gave us a moral compass to abide by. It's written in the Bible. This is our Constitution. If you want to rule the earth, you got to do it according to what the Lord said, how He said. You understand? You got so many people, so many Christians talk about what would Jesus do. Jesus listened to the Most High God. You understand? He followed the laws, statutes, and commandments. Christ is the most righteous man that ever walked the earth. So what would Jesus do? Jesus would keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what He would do. Let's keep reading. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy God be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. The Lord told the children of Israel, this is Moses talking to us right in the book. If you don't do what the Most High God say do, He'll destroy you from off the face of the earth. You understand? The transatlantic slave trade is something so traumatic. People to this day still get uncomfortable talking. You know what I'm saying? That's how the most high get down. You understand? He can give you great power. You get blessed, he can be a terrible power. You gotta live out these curses. You understand? See, the UP County Commanders Union YAHANNA, we're not oppressed because we understand why blacks and Hispanics are in this condition, how we get out of this condition. You understand? When you keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, you don't have any fear. You know who your enemy is, and you know who your ally is. You understand? You operate, you see things different. You operate from a different perspective. So therefore, you're not oppressed. Now, of course, we are in the land of all oppressed hell. Earth is given to the hands of the wicked. That's in the Bible, right? But that doesn't mean you go about life how they go about it. You understand? That's not what the Most High told blacks and Hispanics and those red to do. Trusting in your enemy is how you end up in the ghetto, in the barrios, in the reservations. Think about all the treaties they made with the Native Indians. They kept none of them. Want to know how I know? They look at their state they're in today. I mean, just think how traumatizing it is. You're a Native Indian, right? Think you was born and raised on the reservation. You look up at Mount Rushmore, you see all these so-called founding fathers, these presidents, right, who unalive, kidnapped, raped your foreparents, right? Just think about having to see that every day. You look on the back of a $20 bill, you see one of the devils who did this to your people. That's traumatizing, man. So you don't join those people. Separate from them. How you separate from them, you got to do it according to the Lord. And this will make the Most High laws so great. You're not breaking any laws in the land that you're in by not choosing the oppressive ways. You're not breaking God's laws. You're not. Now, one law will be broken when you keep God's laws, God's constitution, trumps the law of the land. It does. You understand? Let's go to verse 16. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 16. You shall not tempt the Lord thy God, as ye tempted him in Sodom. Verse 17. You shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your God and his testimonies and his statutes, which he hath commanded you. That's important. You understand? You're a soldier, man. You got to follow orders. You got to follow orders. Without order, it's chaos, right? So the Most High God said, you got to diligently keep the commandments. You understand? That means you need to be making sure you do everything in your power, every breath you need to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because without them, you see what happens when you don't keep God's laws. You get destroyed. You understand? You get destroyed, man. Listen. You ain't going to win that battle with the person of the Most High. Listen. The UPK, we understand. We are in hell, right? The only person who can get us out of this condition is the Most High. It's the Most High. So, if he's the only person that can get us out of this condition, and he gave us rules to follow, it's time to follow those rules. You understand? But the problem is, you go to church, denomination, whatever religion you claim, when you're a Muslim, you're in Buddhism, you're going to be, you ain't even going to be a second-class citizen. You're going to be the bottom of all those religions, because those religions were made to benefit the people who founded it, right? Like Christianity, that's bowing down to so-called white people. How can you charge white people for all the heinous crimes and all the atrocities they commit? A man who looks like them is supposed to come back and save everybody. That's the psychological warfare you got to embrace. People say we indoctrinate. No, you just too deep in Christianity. You don't want to hear the truth because you've been so full of lies. It's a tough pill to swallow, I know, but you must be honest with yourself. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High said we ain't supposed to be bowing down in front of no other God, worshiping no idols. You understand? That ain't what the Most High commanded us to do. We're doing the opposite of what he commanded us to do. And that's why we're in this condition. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Even other nations of people know. When you keep God's law, statutes, and commandments, there's nothing that they can do to deceive you. They're like, oh, we can't get through this. I remember a couple of days yesterday, people come wall, he was on live on TikTok. And a Jewish devil tried to basically, tell him he's not the real Jew. So Triple come wall and said, well, if I'm not the real Jew, why are you so offended by, me saying it? It's something that's not true. What is it? People don't defend what they aren't, right? And Jewish people know they aren't the real Jew. They understand that it's a facade. They understand that. They understand that they gotta, keep the lie. But the jig is up. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are waking up. You understand? And the Most High put the spirit of Commander Jimmy Hahn to hold on to this truth for a reason. You understand? ISUPK under Commander Jimmy Hahn has been holding it down. Been holding it down. All the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the sisters, and the young men cleansing themselves of the world, coming into this truth. You understand? The Most High God is the only one who can save us. He put us in this condition. He told us how to get out this condition. Our job is to make sure that we don't get in this condition ever again. So the Most High God wants. He wants us to obey Him. You got to keep the commandments. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. Keep the commandments, you rule the earth. Aren't you tired of seeing blacks, Hispanics, North American, Indians on the bottom of society? And when I look on the news, it's a sad thing, but that makes you want to put in more work in the truth, because our people need to see that it's real life heroes that's here for them, not trying to take nothing from them. You come into the truth, it's all about giving. You understand? You got to be selfless to thrive in this truth. You can't be selfish. In the Christian church, that's that wide gate Christ was talking about. Christ only had 12 disciples, right? Everybody knew about it. Everybody. But their pride and their selfishness, that's the reason why they couldn't walk with Christ. You got to be selfish. That's all about giving to people. Look how destroyed we are. Damn, you gonna keep taking from destroyed people? These other nations are already destroying us. They trying to keep us destroyed. You gonna join with them to destroy your own, to keep your own destroyed? Good night. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight the demons, man. You gotta fight you gotta fight not to get high. You gotta fight not to eat unlawful food, shrimp, crab, pork, lobster. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to be fighting. How you gonna conquer the world? You can't even conquer the old person you were. That old person, you gotta die. It's life. The old version of you is no more. You come into this truth, man, you gotta become a new person. The only way you can receive salvation. Right? Like in Deuteronomy 4:6, he said, this is our wisdom, man. We're talking about the law, statutes, and commandments. Right, let's go to Deuteronomy 4:5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded you, that ye shall do. So in the land whither ye go to possess it. This is Moses talking to blacks, Hispanics, North American, and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. He told us if we do, get blessed. Not go to captivity. And the transatlantic slave trade was prophesied in the Bible thousands of years ago. Thousands of years ago. So therefore, this Bible is true. This Bible right here, the God in this Bible is a living God. He ain't no idol. He's not. He gave us rules. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to follow. If we don't, we get destroyed. We are destroyed. You got brothers hide their mind, sisters hide their mind, whoremongers. You know what I'm saying? You got sisters in the whores, selling their daughters, man. Like it's wicked as hell, man. You got brothers, sissies, man, men in the damn LGBTQ community. You know what I'm saying? What you think the baby's gonna be when they grow up. It'll be like the examples that they got in front of them. They don't know if it's right or wrong. They're looking at you, well, it's the way to go. You set a bad precedent for your kids, man, the little ones, for you not keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. And going to church, if you still going to church in 2025, you like being restricted. Because you've been going to church, man, since, you know what I'm saying, since we call ourselves trying to start a revolution. And nothing, well, it's like, stuff has changed. We got worse, right? Nothing has bettered us going to church. It don't benefit us going to church, going to the house of Satan. You understand? Because all you're doing is furthermore destroying yourself even more. The whole God doesn't keep you doing that. That's why He gave us a different set of rules. You're a holy people. You understand? Holy people means set apart. Set apart. You ain't supposed to be doing what everybody else. How you trying to be holy but you interracially dating? You know what I'm saying? You're trying to keep house with other nations of people. Oh man. How about you fix the problems in our own community before we even consider doing anything else? Let's do that, man. Let's talk for real brotherhood, man. But it ain't no brotherhood outside of people under convention. It ain't that. No brotherhood, man. And the problem with our society is that we think we gotta. So like the problem with our people in this society that we think we gotta mimic the oppressor to have some success. Nah, you gotta do that. It's a Chinatown. It's even in Georgia, they got their own synagogue, Muslim mosque. You know, even Little Italy, Koreatown, all these different nations of people, ethnic groups that got their own community. You know what they gave us? The ghetto, burial, reservations. This what they gave us. Anchortown, Spicktown, and Redtown. You understand? That's how little these people think of us. And we think joining them is gonna make it better. What sense does that make? That's insanity. We've been trying to, right? And what has transpired since we've been trying to go furthermore destroy? They put a damn liquor store in the corner that's selling vape pens and whatever you call that garbage. You know what I'm saying? They're doing all manner of evil, man, to our women, telling them that they don't need a man, telling them that they can unalive their child. It's so wicked to where women, they don't even, it's so wicked in our communities, man, that they convinced our women that unborn baby, that suckling child, is not even what they call it, an embryo. It's just an organism. That's how they make it our women, man. To want to unalive your child. It's so. Because guess what? When you finally decide to have a child, Most High, Lord forbid, man, I'm just saying, you ain't keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. He will, put you through that pit. And something might happen to your child. What about the child that you just, had an abortion of? You don't want to talk about that. I get it. But it needs to be talked about. How are we going to grow this nation if our women are unalive babies? You understand? How you think the nation grows? Women have children. You understand? But the white man told you can unalive your child, so guess what you're going to do? Be a damn dummy and do it. That's what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Lie. When you come into this truth, you ain't going to think the way you thought you was in the world. That's filth. You're going to get cleansed. Your brain, things that goes on in your mind, your thought process is going to totally change. You're going to be a new person. You're going to be so disgusted at the old person you was before you came into the truth, man. You're going to never want to go back. You don't want to go back. We're going back to what? Hell? Going back to filth? The scripture says you're going to be that dog that returns back to his vomit. That's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? You should be disgusted who you were. And strive to be even better, a better version. You understand? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. Verse 8. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is heaven above, above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I am the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third, fourth generation of them that hate me. That's us, man. That's why we born into this condition. Because the Most High just told us, man, don't bow down to other gods. What's other gods? Buddhism, Buddha, Judaism, Christianity, white Jesus, Islam, Allah, rocket method. That's what we're doing. Blacks, Hispanics, North American Native Indians have a God. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments that we must do. Commandments, it ain't no ifs and buts about it. We need to do it. The Lord told it. But the Most High even goes into detail why. You understand? Because when you don't do it, you're going to try to serve the different nations around you. They're idols. They don't even have God. They just have idols. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what the Most High told us to do. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 7. We're going to stand chapter 5. Thou shalt not kill, neither shalt thou commit adultery, neither shalt thou steal, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. You know what I'm saying? No lying, no stealing, no sleeping with another man's woman. You understand? You a woman and you married, you ain't sleeping with no other man. It's not you sleep with your man, your husband. You know what I'm saying? Women in the world love to pick their mouth and say, oh, you supposed to be a man of God. You ain't supposed to have more than one woman. Meanwhile, she gets shared by 5 other different men. You understand? That's what they don't want to tell you. They ain't letting it be known that they sharing themselves with different men. So that's silly, man. It's silly. The Most High God, man, He is merciful. If the northern receive that salvation, you got to change your life for the better. You understand? How do you do that? You keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. You got to. That's how you prove you love the Most High. Do what the hell He say do. You understand? No ifs and buts about it. Get it done. So if you to do something, get it done. These are commandments. You understand? We must do. He commanded us to do it. So it's not an ultimate. You don't get to pick and choose which ones. All of them. You do what He said all the time, man. Not just when you feel like it. It's not about feelings. It's about principles. You understand? We're gonna get the definition of commandment. This is what we do in the UPK. We do extensive research. Commandment is a divine rule. You understand? That's what it is. It's a divine rule. Without rules, it's chaos. It's chaos. We need rules and regulations. We need order. You understand? That's why the Most High gave blacks, Hispanics, North American Native Indians this, because without it, we see what the condition that we are in. It's hell out here, man. Drugs running rapid. All this black on black crime, man. Unaliving one another. All the adultery, the fornication. This is a bunch of filth, man. We are a holy people, man. We are set apart. So when we try to join these other nations, we get destroyed because the Lord gave us a moral compass. They don't have them. Even though they got a constitution, it's a constitution, the body rules everywhere on earth in all these different countries. But they don't have a moral compass. They don't. They believe you sign a damn piece of paper, you married. Meanwhile, you still commit adultery. You fornicate. Like how sick do you have to be to even want to think that that applies to you? You got to be out your damn mind. And that's what Christianity it put us in that condition. It put us out of our damn mind. You understand? It's not how the Most High intended for blacks, Hispanics, North American Indians. You got to operate from a different moral compass. It's like you got to operate from this moral compass written in the Bible. Like I just said, the other nations don't have a moral compass. You don't. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 19. Because it's something that happens to you when you don't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. You black, Hispanic, North You know something in your life, but you don't know what it is. Spiritually, you know something inside you is telling you this is wrong. It's wrong. The problem is you don't know how to fix that wrong. That's the issue. When the UPK, we gonna show you how to fix it. We gonna show you how to fight it. We gonna show you how you can better your life. And even though we in here, we got the Passover, man. Before Houston, Texas, either managing YAHANNA gave that for the blacks, Hispanics, North American Native Indians. We need to be in Houston, man. April 4th for the Passover. All right, we need to go get a taste of this brotherhood and sisterhood, man. You're gonna see brothers and sisters thrive and walking around looking glorious garments, kids running around having a good time. You understand what you need to see? Real brotherhood and sisterhood. That's how we know what we do in the UPK works. You like your face because you ain't putting in enough work. You need to do more. You do nothing, you get nothing. You do more, you get more. You want to help better your people, man. You gotta come into the truth. You gotta follow these ranks if you're a brother. Your sister, you gotta come in and own yourself. Blacks, Hispanics, North American Native Indians, man, it's time for us to gather together. It's time. Because we see what joining other nations of people do, furthermore destroy us. You know what I'm saying? They put liquor stores on every corner, selling vapes, honey pack, all this nonsense, man. You understand? It's just a bunch of nonsense. They put all these vices in front of us to keep us destroyed. Right? Transatlantic slave trade was big business. All races of people had a hand in it. So guess what? Those races of people back then, they have kids. They reaping the benefits of it today. It's called an accessory after the fact. You inherited stolen goods. They got to pay just like we're paying. We're paying for our forefathers' mistakes. You understand? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 19. And it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Lord thy God, and walk after other gods, serve them, and worship them, I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish. Don't perish, man. You'll be no more on this earth. That's what happens when blacks and Hispanics, Native Indians don't keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Don't perish, man. Don't perish. That right there, man, it's the reason I'm in this condition. You don't even know God's laws. You're so far removed from the truth. You don't even question if your pastor is a righteous or a wicked person or not. You don't even know how to try his spirit. You understand? You don't have no knowledge of this Bible, man. This is your wisdom. So if you're not wise, that means you're a damn fool. That's what that means. You have no wisdom. You're not a wise person. You don't know right from wrong. You have no idea what right is. And I'm trying to know what's wrong. You like a newborn baby, man. You talk all over again. That's what has to happen for us. In order for us to get out of this condition, we got to keep God's law. We got to love one another. Talking about blacks, Hispanics, North American people. Because we see when we give our love to the oppressor, what happens. We see what happens. He take your love and still bash your upside down. He don't want your love. He wants your obedience. If you ain't black, Hispanic, North American, Native Indian, no, you can't come sit down with us. No, you ain't allowed to come to the community. We debate, we have dialogue with devils all the time. When it comes to us loving our people, we going to do that. That's first and foremost. We're going to obey the Most High God. We're going to love our people. That's why we love our people. The Most High God showed us who our allies are. He showed us who our enemies are, man. All these nations around about us have conspired against us. They came together to destroy us. The Arabs built the slave ships. Africans captured us. The Edomites slaughtered us. The so-called white people sold us. Let that sink in. And to this day, we think joining these people is going to better us. We're better off. Integration is against the Most High. If he wanted us to integrate, we would be speaking our own language. He ain't supposed to be giving your daughters to other nations of people. Ain't no such thing as a human race. Idiotic. It's a hierarchy in everything. There's no equality. That's Everything is about race. Everything. It's about superiority. Whose race is going to be on top? Who's going to be on the bottom? We've been on the bottom. We've been on the bottom. That's how you know this Bible is talking about black, Hispanic, North American, Native Indians, because we are that nation not desired. We destroyed the black knowledge. Listen, Most High say, this is your way. But in Hosea, if it says we destroyed the black knowledge, that's because we got away from our wisdom. We got away from it. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. A curse if ye would not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. Well, we in this condition, man. Going after other gods. Oh boy. Most High. In this captivity. So if you go to church, man, and you have to tell me God loves everybody. Everybody ain't live by these curses. Everybody ain't live by these curses. So how you gonna get the blessing? Everybody know about the Bible. They love to talk about the adoption, the promises, and the blessing. This is how you know it's talking about us. Everybody love black culture. Saying they love our food, the way we dress, music. When they come to talking about issues in our community, they separate themselves. No. They don't want no parts of that. Us sinning against God is a major issue. It's a major issue. And they don't know how to get us out of this condition because the laws wasn't given to them in the first place. He said he showed his word unto Jacob. Who was that? The forefather of the 12 lost tribes of Israel. Right? Blacks, Hispanics, North American, Native Indians. That's who that is. Most High said we are a holy people, man. In order for us to rule the earth, we got to keep his laws. We got to. We got to obey the Most High God. Right? That's the only way blacks, Hispanics, North American, Native Indians gather and be that nation, rule the earth according to the Bible. Right? We'll go to the Apocrypha. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 15. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 10. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word. And they that love him keep his ways. What's his ways? His law, statutes, and commandments. His way of life. Listen. You go to the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. All right. You'll see that these other nations haven't even had his law, statutes, and commandments. So how in the hell can they teach you how to serve the God of this Bible? Now, they can teach you how to serve their God, right? They idol. When it comes to this holy Bible, can't nobody teach you about your man's book. It's your book. You black Hispanic, North American, Native Indian, this is all about black and house. Got everything in this Bible will fix your life. Everything. Seeing what our forefathers did or didn't do, seeing how they prosper, seeing how they fail. You understand? So if we making the same mistakes as them, then we need to learn our lesson. That's why we still in this condition. This right here is a lesson. This captivity is punishment. Like any good father. You gonna put belt to that behind. You don't do what he say. So don't look at it as man, why God chose us. If it's a God, why he ain't saving us? Because you don't understand that God gave blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians rules. He gave you commandments. He gave you laws. If you break the law, you understand? He ain't gonna bless you. But when you keep the law, he do bless you. So that ain't free will. If you have free will, that means you can do whatever you want to do. There ain't no consequence behind it. You understand? There's no consequence. Behind every wrong decision is a consequence repercussion. And another thing that the Christian church teaches you is that God hates the sinner, not the sinner. That's idiotic. That's like saying the damn judge punished the crime and not the criminal. No, if you commit a crime, you're the criminal. If you sin, you are the sinner. You do. No, this is what you're not supposed to do, and you did. Therefore, you broke the law. idiotic, man. You committed the sin. So you is who he hates. What are you talking about? He hates the sin, not the sin. That's just blasphemy. We become so damn we become so damn stupid in this that we don't even question things that they tell us in that church. We just regurgitate it like idiots. And so let's go to the book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Right? Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. So if God loves you no matter what you do, that means you're a sinner. Let's see what God said about sinners, right? Because everything about the Christian church is contrary to what's actually written in the Bible. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hated sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Whoa. If your church telling you God hates the sin and not the sinner, but the Most High just said, for the Most High hated sinners. He hates a sinner. He gave you laws to follow, and if you don't follow them, man, not only is he going to punish you, he's going to hate you because you hate him. If you don't do what your Lord said to do, it means you despise him, man. So why in the hell would he grant you the kingdom, right? For you to rule the earth. Why would he give you that if you don't do what the hell he say do? You know what I'm saying? That's why we said in UPK, this is the home of the truth. Man. If you're YAHANNA, you're gonna get some gear right. You don't understand that you've been lied to your whole life. And you need some truth serum. That's what you need. The scriptures say, sanctify them through thy word. Thy word is truth. You understand? That's why we the home of the truth. Everything you thought you knew about this Bible, throw it in the garbage. That's what it is. It's garbage. You don't know nothing about the Bible. Listen. You're gonna get humble when you come to the truth. You're gonna get humble. We're gonna force you to face yourself, man. You understand? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 20. Let's go to Proverbs 8:33. Hear instruction and be wise, and refuse it not. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my door. For whoso findeth me, findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me, wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. You understand? This right here is talking about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Most High give you instructions. He's commanding you to do something. Right? If you refuse that, you're a fool. You understand? When you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you're sinning against the Most High God. You ain't getting over on him. You're making matters worse for yourself and the people. You understand? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Let's go to Proverbs 28 and 9. Look at Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be in affliction. You understand? That's what the Most High said about you not keeping his law. So God don't love you no matter what you do. That's a lie, right? The Most High, not only does he hate sin, he hates the sinner. So when your church tell you that he hates the sin and not the sinner, that is a lie. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. If you turn away your ear from the law, the Most High ain't hearing your prayer. Why in the hell, like any father, if you ain't doing what he tells you to do, why would the hell he would grant a request from you? It's like, why would he grant your request? Why would he do that? It don't make no sense, man. See how this is how you know Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. Because the one that was founded by so-called white people, right? They weren't given the law, statutes, and commandments. So how in the hell could they teach you how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments? You understand? It's like all men created equal is a lie. Because blacks, Hispanics, North American Native Indians were slaves when they were written. That Constitution was written in what? 1776. That's when the Constitution, the American Constitution was written. It don't apply to us. Just like God's law, statutes, and commandments. Don't apply to these other nations. They don't. Shalom. What we got to do, man, we got to keep God's laws. All that he hates the sin and not the sinner, that is a lie. You just debunked that, right? You can't think that God's love is unconditional. He do love you, right? But just when you do what he says, just when you do what he says, you got to obey him. You can't do what you want to do and then expect the Lord to grant your request. It's not the most high output. Right? Let's go to Romans, man. Let's go to Romans chapter 8, verse 6. The book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Verse 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither there indeed. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please God. This is talking about keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. All right? You obey the Most High, you can't be carnally minded. I feel this, I feel that. Your mind is wicked. All right? Feel like this. Who you were before you got the knowledge of the Bible, before you came into the truth, you can't listen to that person. That person got to die. It has to be casted out. Those are demons talking. The demon that you had before you came into the truth, they don't want you to know this truth. The demon is sent to destroy your soul. You ever see brothers and sisters walking around looking lifeless? Because they ain't got these laws, man. They're not operating from a moral compass. Therefore, they're destroyed, man. And their way of life is so wrong, they don't know how to get out that condition. They don't. If they did, they'd be right here. Fight your demons and come to class. Ask questions. Nothing wrong with that. No such thing as a stupid question. Now, some people might be ignorant, right? They try to, how do we know y'all telling the truth? How do we know this? Just ask questions. Go ahead.
How do you know when you change?
How do you know when you change it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great question. We're going to get some of that in the scriptures. Right? But when you know when you change is when you don't think the way you did before. You knew what you was doing was wrong. Right? Nobody is there to correct you. You understand? The Most High corrected who he loved. We're going to get them first. We're going to get that scripture first. Most High corrected who he loved. You know you changed it when you matter of fact, let's see what Paul said. Before we go to Proverbs, let's see what Paul said about baptism. That's how you know you changed it. When you receive the knowledge and you apply it to your life, you don't do the things you did prior to you receiving this knowledge. All right, let's go to Ephesians 5 and 26. You make conscious decisions. That's how you know you changed. You ain't reacting how you once did. You understand? That's what you're not doing. Ephesians 5 and 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the word, with the washing of the water by the word. That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it shall be holy and without blemish. So when you set apart, you operate from the moral compass that's written in this Bible, keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, that's how you know you change. You understand? You got to get the knowledge of this Bible first. We ain't dunking people in water like John the Baptist did. That's a gimmick. That's a hustle. You got to understand what God is requiring of you. You got to apply that to your life. That's how you know you change. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get some more on that. Because that's an excellent question. How do you know you changed? How? You know what I'm saying? Baptism is you changing. Becoming a new person. The old person got to die. Go to Acts 2:41. Christ said, can't pour no new wine from old bottles. Don't make sense. Because all that old wine's gonna move. It's like all that old bottle's gonna lose to what? New wine. All it's gonna do. Acts chapter 2, verse 41. Then they that gladly received his word were baptized. And the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls. And that's when you get these laws, statutes, and commandments, right, and applying it to your life, you adding souls to your life. You're taking away. When you're doing wrong, you're slowly killing your soul, slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're doing. So we don't want to do that. We want to add life to us. We don't want to keep taking. Then again, you're going to perish. If first you keep taking from yourself, eventually you're going to have nothing. You're going to perish. Seek counsel. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with coming to class, asking questions, seeking knowledge, gaining wisdom. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Get rid of your pride. Because pride comes before the fall. They always say it comes before the fall. Right? But you got to eliminate all of it. Come to class and ask questions. That's all you got to do. All you got to do. Did that answer your question, sis?
Okay.
That was an excellent question. How do you supposed to change it? How? Because we all know that something is going wrong in our life, right? But how do we fix it? How can we be better than we were yesterday? Like Paul said, don't be carnal. Don't be carnal. That means don't live through your lusts, right? Don't always feel. What did the Most High say about certain things? Like Christians love to say, what would Jesus do? Right? Jesus would keep the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what he would do. This is your wisdom. This is your wisdom. So if people telling you not to keep God's laws, they're telling you to be a damn fool. If keeping God's laws gives you wisdom, people telling you not to, do they really have your best interest? They don't have your best interest. They want you to stay destroyed. Because they want to keep taking advantage of you. Smoking weed, doing whatever manner of evil you was doing. That's what they want you to do. They got demons and they're projecting their demons on you. Scripture says, sanctify them through thy word. Thy word is truth. You understand? I got to tell you the truth in order for you to fix you, help fix you. One thing about being baptized, man, listen, whoever you were when you in the world, don't matter. Bury that person. It's no longer here. Become a better you. Become a new you. If you want to be new and improved, you got to throw that old person away. That's filth. Right? You don't want to go back to that. Right? You want to go back to death? No. We're going to do it through what Christ did. Fight our demons. We're going to love one another. But you got to do it according to the scriptures. It ain't going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. You can't outthink the Most High. That ain't how this works. Christ said, if you love him, keep his commandments. That's what he said. It's written in red. Let's go to that. Let's go to John 14 and 15. Look at John chapter 14 and verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comfort, that he may abide with you forever. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. If you walk like Christ, he's dwelling in you. Because you operate from that moral compass he operates from. You know what's right from wrong. You can differentiate a wicked spirit from a righteous spirit. Right? We're living in a spiritual realm. Everybody want to talk about how, demons running rapid and this and that. Are you willing to fight your demons? It's easy to point the finger. It's easy to do that. You look in the mirror, do you like what you see? Are Are you doing what Jesus would do? You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta be honest and ask yourself. There's nothing wrong with seeking wisdom. Because when you eat fruit from a rotten tree, you're gonna become rotten. When you eat fruit from a good tree, you're gonna become old. That's what you want. You can't destroy what's of the Lord. People will love coming up against this truth because it forces you to face yourself. All the wickedness you've been doing. But guess what? Christ died so you can have a chance at it. He didn't die so you can keep doing it. He didn't do it, right? You receive the knowledge of what you were doing wrong and you go back out there and you do it again, killing Christ, unaliving Christ all over again. What sense does that make? He didn't sacrifice himself so you can keep doing it. He did it so you can stop. That's why he did it. And that right there is a real ninja, man. A real one. Even for people who wasn't too fond of him, he still did it. Because he understood you don't know what you're doing. But don't worry about it, I got you. I'm gonna go up on this cross. I'll get crucified. Not so you can keep doing it, so you can stop. You can have another chance. You gotta stop sinning against the Most High. It's detrimental to us. Look at the condition we are. Look at the condition. We are in hell on earth, man. In hell. This right here is something that's just it's heartbreaking. The most important thing to know is that our King went on that cross, so we ain't gotta go through this way. But in order to get out this condition, you gotta keep the law, statutes, you got to. Anybody that's telling you otherwise don't want to see you prosper. They want to see you destroyed. They don't have your best interests. If they did, they'd be telling you to get in class and learn, man. But the demon in them don't want you to prosper. Hell, they don't even want them to prosper. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11. And we're going to see what the Lord said about chastising. You know what I'm saying? That's correction. You getting chastised, that's correction. Chastised. That's what that is, man. It's correction. He ain't doing it just to do it. It's to humble you. To make you realize what you've been doing all this time is wrong. How can you correct your children if you don't let them know what they're doing is wrong? You got to show them the right way, right? Christ was wrong. It's like Christ was born to show us the right way how to serve the Most High. We had high priests at that time, the scribes, Pharisees, and Sadducees, but they weren't keeping the law. They were teaching the law, but they weren't keeping the law. They were hypocrites. And that's why they didn't like Christ. That's what the conflict was. You understand? People ain't going to be teaching the law. Now y'all yourselves ain't keeping the law. You're a hypocrite. You hypocrite. You kept cutting. They couldn't deal with it. We got to get this dude out of the way. We caused too much controversy. You know what I'm saying? They gonna move us out our hot seat. Damn that. Damn all that. If you really walk with Christ, you'll let him work his magic, man. He's performing miracles all throughout you, all throughout Israel. The Pharisees saw that and was like, damn, if he keep working all these miracles, man, the people ain't gonna believe us no more. The jig is up. They gonna know we a facade. We ain't about what we be talking about. They gonna realize that, man, we really are hypocrites. They can have that. So they got our king unalive. Christ was innocent. He didn't break no laws. He listened. He never sinned, right? So he didn't break none of God's laws. So what makes me he gonna break the law to win? This is under the time of Roman captivity, by the way. If you didn't know, go to Proverbs 3 and 11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth. Even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth. Like any good father, he's going to discipline his children when they're wrong. That's what the Most High put us in captivity for. Is to make us realize what we did was wrong, and so don't do it again. It's correction. So don't act, oh man, God is real. Why he doing this to black, Hispanics, Native Indians? We did something to him. We sinned. We broke his laws. If you don't do what your parents say do, you going what? Punishment. Give me that phone. Give me that. I'm taking that TV. Give me that game. Come out this room unless you're doing chores. Go to school, you come home. Now, you can't go outside with your friends. That's punishment. It's chastisement. It's just to correct you, right? So us being in captivity, transatlantic slave trade is all about correcting us. We didn't do what the Most High said to do, so therefore He punished us for it. How do we get out of this condition? What is it that we have to do to get out of this condition? We're gonna go back to the book of Deuteronomy. Let's go to chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people, the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. This right here is talking about black and brown supremacy. It's talking about black and brown supremacy. But if you're trying to join other nations and people that are around about you, you ain't going to rule the earth. You're not. They got a constitution in place right now in the United States that benefits them. Guess what? This Bible benefits blacks, Hispanics, North American, and Indians. That's who it benefits. That's who it benefits. So it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. Just because you read something don't mean it pertains to you. And that's why we so destroyed. We busy trying to join other races and people and choose their way of life. Because we think that's the way to go. We think they got it made, the grass green on the other side. And I realize that we're going to be further more destroyed because you're going to develop a self-hatred. To join the people that despise you and then go against your own, that's how you know you're mentally, you're psychologically destroyed. It's so bad being black that you don't even want to be black, even though you're born as black. Who wants to be black? You know what I'm saying? Look at the condition that we're in. Guess what? This condition ain't forever. You watch your mind. Black people can turn urine into lemonade. Right? You know what I'm saying? That spirit comes from the Most High. But guess what? When you disobey the Most High, you take that. When you do what He say, He gives you that spirit. You ain't doing the things that you used to do before you gained this knowledge of the truth. These laws, statutes, and commandments. You ain't doing that. You gotta keep the word of the Most High, man. Being baptized is changing your life for the better. You keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You doing what God said to do. Everybody's saying they love God, but you ain't doing what He said to do. Let's go to 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. You're going to see how you show you love God. Because love, you got to show that. You can say you love somebody all day, but if you stabbing them in the back, talking about them behind their back, you know what I'm saying? You ain't showing you love. You despise them. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't do what the Most High say do, you hate Him in His eyes. Either you're going to obey or you're going to disobey. Disobey, I chastise you, I punish you. You obey, I reward you. Why in the hell would the Most High reward us if we disobey Him? What sense does that make? Therefore, you can't. God don't love you no matter what you do. If you break His laws, He punish you. So that's another lie. All right? Let's go to 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments. And His commandments are not grievous. It's not a bad thing. We just read, He's going to set us above all people when we do what He said to do. So therefore, it's a great thing. If it ain't grievous, it's great. Come on now. Go ahead. How do you get rid of negative thoughts? Great question. Great question. We're going to go to 2 Corinthians. What you're talking about is heavy. You asked, it's a great question, because that's talking about fighting demons. Negative thoughts are demons. All right. One thing about reading this Bible is that you're going to learn how to defeat the old version of you to become a new and improved you. You know something is going wrong in your life, but you just don't know how to fight it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to fight it. But Christ, He showed us how to do it. Showed us how, and I'm going to grab the scripture and show you how. What that is right there, what you're talking about, is temptation. You're being tempted by something. Negative thoughts. On one hand, God tells you know the law, statutes, and commandments of God tells you. On the other hand, right, it's your thought that you fight. It's your thought that you gotta conquer, overpower them with God's words. Because the scripture is written by God. Yeah, man wrote it. They were moved by the Holy Spirit, man. They were set apart from everybody else. They weren't doing what other people were doing at that time. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There has no temptation taken but such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is talking about the battle that you're facing right now. Whatever that demon is that you're facing, it's something that you can overcome because it's you. What you got to do is throw that old person away. You got to become a new you, a new creature. Officer Vaughn, he brought that scripture out yesterday. 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. That's a good precept too. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. That's talking about throwing your whole thoughts. Wherever you were before you came into this truth, whatever demons and thoughts you had, you got to bury that. You got to do what Christ did. You got to become a new you. That old person is gone. And them old demons that you had, them old thoughts, they're going to come back. Right? They ain't going nowhere. But this time they're going to come back stronger. Because we got Halloween coming up. We got Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, New Year. We all, in the world, we all celebrated it. They're going to come back. Family going to try to get you to come, oh, well, you know, you ain't got to celebrate. Just bring the babies. But, you know, we just off there. The demons going to teach you. You got to fight it. Whatever altercation you have with anybody in your life, even one of your loved ones, you got to fight it. Give us some grace, man. They got their mind. Listen, our people are so destroyed. We on drugs, we get drunk, we in religion. You know, sisters coping with, you know, a lot of things. Brothers coping with things. They in games. You know, women in strip clubs, only thing. Hey, we destroyed. Give us some grace. Right? Find a way to forgive them. That's what Christ would say. Forgive them 77 times. I'm going to paraphrase, right? Because Christ was all about that. That's how we grow as a people. Forgive them. That's real love. Give them some grace. Give them some grace. Hell, white people did us wrong, and y'all forgive them. Y'all talk about how them was they great grandparents. Okay, but they descend from them, so they are them. So forgive your people, man. Give that grace something to your people. You give it to everybody else. Obey God, man. Love what he loves and hate what he hates. That's how you're going to become a new you. Did that answer your question, sis?
Yeah.
It's not correct. You're going to get tempted. You're definitely going to get tempted. You got to keep God's words in your mind, how to resolve conflict. Seek counseling. If you feel like you're going, if it's too much for you to burn right then and there, call the brothers. Talk to your husband. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for. Every is the head that we're the crown. Head of the household is the man. It ain't about a dollar. Paul said what? Most high, Christ, man, woman. That's the order of the household. To change your life, to hear these scriptures, and understand that what you've been doing is wrong, that Christ died for you to get a chance to get it right, and not to do wrong no more, that is how you become a new person. You can't do the things that you've been doing, read a couple scriptures, and think all is forgiven. No. You got to change your life. We say it all the time. The best apology is change behavior, right? How do you show the Most High that you're sincere in changing your life? Don't do what you did previously. Don't do it. Stop. Christ died for you to come back to the Most High, not to stay further away from him. John 8:36. Because pretty certain, man, this is Christ, right? This is our King talking. A man who walked the earth and he never sinned. He never broke any laws. No laws, man. And they hated him. They're like, who that nigga on that nappy? Not around my niggas, he can't. He can't be doing that. He ain't finna start no rebellion. Christ was a warlord, man, a revolutionary, a black supremacist. You understand? He was all about helping his people. You can't be selfish in this truth. It's all about giving, man. And in the world, it's all about taking. What you gonna do for me? No, what are you gonna do for your people? What do you ask yourself that? What are you gonna do to better this nation? We destroy it, man. We're the nation I desire. We destroy it for lack of knowledge because we got away from God's laws. This is our wisdom. If you're not wise, you don't know right. You have no knowledge. You have no wisdom. This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 36. Yes, the stuff. Okay, John 8:32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Free from what? Free from oppression, man. Free of the demons. That's what you're gonna be free from. When you understand the truth of this Bible, man, you're gonna be free from all this, man. All this wickedness that's going around, man, you're gonna be free from it. Right? What you gotta do, you gotta learn how to fight your demons, man. Conquer the old you, cast it out. Right? You're gonna cast it out. Look at John 17:17. It says, sanctify them through thy word. It's like sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is the truth. So getting these laws, statutes, and commandments, that's how you get cleansed. That's how you get sanctified. Sanctified means to cleanse something. Right? Let's get that definition verbatim. Do some research. Sanctify, set apart or declared holy. Consecrate, right? That's what that means. Purify, cleanse. So you cleansing your mind of all those wicked thoughts. Whatever you thought that was bad, it's gone. Right? That's how you get clean. That's how you know you changed your life. That's how you know you got better. You ain't thinking like you did. You put the weed down. You know what I'm saying? You treat your woman like a sister. Like, yeah, that's your real, but she's still your sister. Women, you treat your husband like a brother. You know what I'm saying? We in hell, man. We need each other. All this, I don't need a man. Women ain't nothing. I gotta stop. And they in the white man propaganda, dog. They want us destroyed. They don't want to see men and women together raising babies. They tell you don't need to have no babies. That's generation. I mean, that's population control. That's genocide. Tell a woman she can do that, man, and think she gonna be consciously sane. It's insane. And we become insane in this place. Why? Because we left our wisdom. We ain't doing what the Most High told us to do. And that's why we destroy it, man. Go to Hosea 4:6. Because that nation I desire, man, is us. We hate it everywhere we go. We think these other nations of people have our best interests when all they want to do is keep us destroyed. Don't let a smile fool you. It's a reason why they smile. They happy you destroyed. Because the more destroyed you are, the better it is for them. They're gonna remain on top. They're gonna remain in rouge. That's what they want. They're gonna remain in rouge. And so of course, not devils. They don't think this kingdom will ever fall. The problem is with blacks and Hispanics, you better not fall with it. You understand? That's the issue. This is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. We are their children now. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians walking earth today, we left our knowledge, man. Our knowledge is the Bible. God's law, statutes, and commandments, that is our wisdom. You understand? So if people telling you can't keep God's laws, they want you to stay destroyed. They don't want you to come out of this condition, man. They want you to stay destroyed. That means they can continue to live in sin. One thing our people got a problem with is diverse lust, a desire for something you cannot have. Sin. In this kingdom, in this place right here, in America, you can sin willfully. What did Christ say, man? It's like, what does the Bible say? We sin willfully, then be no more condition of sin. So once you gain this knowledge, and then you go out there and do it willingly, you run alive for Christ again. And again and again and again. So how can you say you love him if you know what he said do? Come on, man, we can't be cynical. We leave in our wisdom. That's why we destroy it. We have no knowledge of right from wrong. We have no knowledge on how to differentiate evil from righteousness. We just don't know. We all over the damn place. We all over the damn place. That's why our life is going the way it's going. When you come into the truth, it's going to be a challenge because you got to throw all that out that you thought you knew. You got to throw it away. You got to humble yourself. You got to, because that's the only way you can become a new and improved you. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Because you're going to see what the Lord said about wisdom. You understand? In order to have wisdom, you got to have knowledge. Those two go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Wisdom is the quality of having experience, knowledge, and judgment. The quality of being wise. What's the opposite of that? Naive. You lack experience, judgment, wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seasoned enough. We're not seasoned in this place because we think God loves everybody. He loves you no matter what you do. Christ died for your sins, meaning you can keep doing it willfully, right? Nah, man. That's not what the Most High want us to do. If He give you laws, statutes, and commandments, the commandment means you must do it. To have knowledge, knowledgeable, means to be intelligent and well informed. We ain't well informed. We are like newborn babies that don't know nothing. That's what we are in this place. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. So let's start at verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye shall do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore them and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of all nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. When these other nations of people see us and they realize they can't infiltrate, they like, I can't get through to these guys. Right? Yeah, because we have the knowledge of the world. We understand who our enemies are. We understand who our allies are. Going to war ain't about fighting in bloodshed every day. It's about conquering the old view. You're going to war. When you fight that urge not to get high, not to partake in sin, right? That's you going to war. That's war, man. Everything is about warfare. Everything is about race. Oh, we say, everything about race. It is about race. We need to fix blacks, Hispanics, and other American Native Indians, but we got to do it according to what God said. We understand when we don't obey God, we suffer. When we do obey God, we prosper, right? It's best for us to just keep obeying God, because I don't know about y'all, but when I turn on the news and I read certain stories, that breaks my heart. And it's like, what can I do to be better? First, you got to conquer your demons, right? You got to love your people to the point to where you ain't going to sin no more, man. You want to help fix them. How you going to help fix somebody when you need fixing? You understand? If you're a black, Hispanic, North American, Native Indian, you got to humble yourself and follow these ranks before you can teach this Bible. If you're a sister, black, Hispanic, North American, Native Indian, you got to humble yourself. Come to class with your head covered. Learn how to be that virtuous woman every day as a man. You're going to learn how to be dominant without being aggressive. That's a skill you're going to obtain. You understand? But when it comes from this Bible, this is your wisdom. How we counsel women, how we raise our children, is according to the Bible. You understand? If you don't have this knowledge, you don't have no wisdom. You don't have no intellect. Right? You just read what those definitions meant. So if this is your wisdom and you ain't following it, you a damn fool. You ain't gonna have no good knowledge or judgment skills. You ain't gonna know how. You ain't gonna know how to differentiate righteousness from evil. That's why the Most High God said, keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. For this is your wisdom. This is right here, man. This Holy Bible. This is Blacks, Hispanics, North American Native Indians Constitution. This is how we're going to govern ourselves. This is how we're going to rule the earth. I know it's funny now, right? When you I'm just a bunch of black men cosplaying. They don't really believe what they teaching. They don't believe none of that. Yeah, it's funny now to them skies crack and Christ return with the angels. It ain't gonna be so funny then. You're gonna be running for dear life. Then if you black Hispanic North American Native Indian, like niggers do, you always want to wait to try to do the right thing. Look, man, it ain't too late to do the right thing until Christ returns. I'm gonna tell you like that. Once those skies crack and World War III kick off, is over. This is your grace period. Take advantage. Don't abuse it. Get in the truth. Let's go to Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. We just read in Joshua 1:8 what the Most High said. Keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. You got to meditate on these scriptures day and night. Observe to do according to all that is written there. All the laws, statutes, and commandments. Not just the ones you like, not the ones you're not too fond. No, you got to do all of them. All of them. It's not a difficult thing. The problem is you got to throw that old person away. You got to that old person got to die. You got to become a dude. That's why when you get your Hebrew name, it's spiritual. Yeah, names you, but that comes from the Lord, man. According to who you are. And my name is Sharash. It means root, established deeply and firm. That's what that is. That's being it's true, man. You got to be told. There's nothing nobody can say in the world can remove you from. But you also got to fight it good, man. You got to fight it. There's nothing outside of these walls but death. This is life. You understand? Like the Most High just said, then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. You think entertainers in the world having good success? We just seen what Snoop Dogg did. He ain't say nothing wrong, right? He was talking about how him and his grandson went to go see the Buzz Lightyear movie. And his grandson, a child, had a problem with same-sex marriage, right? A kid knows that's wrong, man. A little kid. So Snoop Dogg brought it out. Now he's waving pride flag all over the place, man. Partaking in pride parades. Why? Because them people got to him. You know what I'm saying? They threatened to cut his wart off. You know what I'm saying? That's power right there. He didn't say nothing wrong. His grandson didn't say nothing wrong. This is a child. Even they know that's wrong. Man. You understand? You gotta keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how you prosper. That's how we get out this condition. That right there is how blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians will rule the earth. We in hell, man. In the ghettos, barrios, and reservations, households destroyed. Men claiming they ain't no good women, treat women like they're nothing. Women claiming they don't need a man. You know what I'm saying? You're going against human nature. You're going against what God made one man and woman for. I didn't think he made Eve. I didn't think he gave Adam Eve. He needed help. But what is supposed to depend on her man? He is. She is. Nothing wrong with that. That's how it's supposed to be. We're in a household. But society has tricked you into believing woman, black woman, you don't need no. You need a man who spend time to kill that bug on the wall. You need a man come fix some things on your car, your house. That's what you need a man, huh? I love objectifying. You gotta stop objectifying each other and start loving one another. That ain't love. Trying to take advantage of someone and their resources is not love. That's abuse. You understand? It hurt people, hurt people. And we've been hurting each other, man. It's time to stop hurting each other and start loving one another. So the Most High says, what Christ said, you love me, keep my commandments. You know? Christ was big on brotherhood and sisterhood. He's big on that because he see how destroyed we are, man. When you don't have a moral compass, when you don't have laws to abide by, a code, right? People love talking about you off code and you stick to the code. Why was that, man? And we've been destroyed ever since we left it because we have no wisdom. We become lawless in this place. We become lawless, man. That's why we destroyed. So in order to get out that condition, guess what? You got to come back to this way. That's what Christ died for. Christ died in order for you to come back to this. We are a royal priesthood. I don't know why people copy everything we do. We just saw the earth. That's why. Everybody love black music. They love our movies. They love our slang. They love our food. We dress, our culture. They don't like the downside. How we so damn destroyed. They don't want to talk about that. When they do talk about all black on black crime, crime is crime. No matter who commits it. We all U.S. citizens, crime is crime. But these people know what they do. It's all propaganda. You know what I'm saying? They feed their ego by belittling you. Try to join that. That's what you're going to develop. That's everything. That's antichrist. That's everything Christ. He's going against everything he stood for. Everything. You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. That's how we prosper. It is simple. It's not difficult. But the problem is you conflicted because you hold on to the old. That's the problem. You gotta get rid of the old Jews in order to make way for the new you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta do, man, when you come to this truth. And this is a beautiful thing. We see miracles every day. Yeah, we still in hell. Yeah, we still go through stuff. So what? If you're a black, Hispanic, North American, Native Indian man, you don't go through stuff. You're a soldier. You gotta endure. You got a war every day. That's what Christ did. You think Christ wasn't tempted? He walked the earth. He walked the earth. He was tempted. You gotta fight it, man. It's the whole duty. Black, Hispanic, North American, Native Indian. Fight your demons so you can rule the earth. Talking about conquering, you gotta conquer them demons. Fight them. Every day. It's an everyday battle. I slay, I get right up to slay, I come to school. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight them. Fight your demons. This is what matters. This is what's important because this fixes lives. Giving blacks, Hispanics, North American, Native Indians their identity comes with their culture, how they treat one another. That eliminates the negative thoughts. Like the sister just asked earlier, how do you know you become a new person? Paraphrase, right? When you ain't thinking the way you thought before. You changed your life for the better. That's how you know you become a new person. You ain't got those same wicked thoughts, whatever tempted you ain't got that in your mind. You're thinking totally different because you've been cleansed through the word of God. You understand that blacks, Hispanics, North American, Native Indians is Israel, the Israelites in this Bible. Then is when you're like, hey, this is who we were prior to slavery. This is who we were prior to colonization. We have a history. It's written right here. It's written right here. And if you want to learn more, come to class, man. Tune in online, come to class, ask questions. Right? Fight your demons, get rid of that pride, man. You got to get rid of that. It's holding you back. Pride is something that's going to hinder you because it doesn't want you to grow. You're being complacent. You listen to that demon, pride is a demon. Procrastination is a demon. You're going to hold yourself back and deprive yourself of something so beautiful, man. This truth right here is more precious than gold. Because you have wisdom that no other person in the world has. They busy understand? Keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. This is our wisdom. Right? A couple more scriptures. We're going to wrap it up. Let's go to Malachi 3:14. Book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 14. We have said it is vain to serve God. What profit is it that we keep, that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? This is talking about, man, what good is it to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments? What good? You know what I'm saying? One thing about our people, man, in the history of the Israelites, we love looking at other nations and thinking they got it made. We love thinking the grass is green on the other side. Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. Keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. This is your wisdom. So once you leave this, you forsake his laws, you become a damn fool. They don't know his law. He ain't dealt with us. You know, it's not because we're ruled the earth in the first place. They in that position by default because we sin against God. It's really that simple. You look at the history of these people, they Neanderthals, man. They ain't got no damn wisdom. People dumb as a doorknob, man. How the hell they gonna teach you about your book? This Bible, this Holy Bible is about blacks, Hispanics, North American, Native Indians. And here you go trying to get the information from the people who enslaved you. Those who enslaved you would not be the ones to save you. That's idiotic. You gotta know who your enemy is, man, and know who your ally. The problem is roles are reversed. We think our allies are enemies. We think our enemies are our allies. You think Africans is your people because the white man told you African. You came from. What the hell sense to that, man? I buy my bananas from Aldi's. Ain't no damn banana store in Aldi's. Because you can buy something from somewhere don't mean it comes from. Yeah, we was in Africa. But the Africans knew we weren't them. That's why they helped the Arabs and so the white people just back. We was brought over on slave ships. But the white man told you, he told you the Hispanics and people. They're our people, man. You gotta be patient with them. They was destroyed too. They got to them first. You understand? Hispanics, Native American Indians, black people are all one nation. And guess what? We are that nation I desire. That's why we need to come together. Those are your allies, man. It ain't just gonna happen with so-called black people, African American. Nah, it's gonna happen. Because you know why? You still trying to join the Africans, the Nigerians, the Cameroonians, the Syrians, whatever, all them African nations and them Hamites. Ain't got nothing to do with us. Yeah, they help destroy us. Why the hell should we join them if they help destroy us? That don't make sense. You want to get furthermore destroyed? It don't work like that. You gotta stop trusting in the oppressor, man. Trust in God. Who Christ did. To be holy means to be set apart. How in the hell are you holy trying to join every nation around about you? That don't make no sense. We ain't all God's chosen people. Show me that in the Bible. How he chose everybody. He didn't choose everybody. He chose Israel. This book is about Israelites. This ain't everybody's book. You read some all day. It does not mean it pertains to you. All right. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. Wise man wrote this book, man, and can't no dummy teach you about your history. That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop being so cynical, man. Get some wisdom. This is your wisdom if you black, Hispanic, North American, and Indian. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. You understand? That's what you need, man. This is your wisdom. This is what's going to help you become a better person. Blacks, Hispanics, North American, Native Indians, you got to come back home, man. Which is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. You got to come back to the home of the truth. The ISUPK, the commanders, you're in YAHANNA. People love saying we a cult. You know what I'm saying? Love saying we cosplay. One thing they don't want to debate about is if this is a true one body of Christ. Since 1969 has been established. You understand? One West, man. Get one more scripture, we're gonna wrap it up. Right? Bible, man, it's spiritual. You gotta walk in that spirit. You gotta be holy. You gotta be set apart. You're supposed to look at things in the world that people take part in, and you're supposed to look at it like, dang, right. In your back of your mind, you know it ain't right, but society's telling you it's right. It's kind of like if everybody said that it must be true, right? Like everybody keep repeating the same thing, you know it's a lie. You gotta just go visit become true. No, it ain't how that works. Wrong is wrong, right is right. The truth gonna make you free, not lies. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna be free if you believe in the lies? You can process the truth, you can't process the lie. That's why we ain't supposed to be doing that, man. Keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments, you're gonna prosper. If not, you fail. It's really that simple. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 14 and 38. Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 38. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. That's simple. You know what I'm saying? If brothers or sisters being ignorant, man, they don't want to hear the word of the Lord, let them be ignorant. They got to hurt in order to get the truth. It's sad, but this is what it is. You understand? If they be ignorant, let them be ignorant. Don't make a fight or an argument with them. Let them be ignorant. They'll learn. Because we are a stiff-necked people. That's the most I call it. Blacks, Hispanics, North American, Native Indians, we are stiff-necked people. And it's sad how we got to keep hurting in order to understand that the Most High not to play with. You got to keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how you show you love Him. 1 John 5:3. You know what I'm saying? The only way you can show Him. If you don't love Him, you hate Him. If you love what God loves, you're going to hate what He hates. That's why Christ said you can't serve two masters. You're going to love one and hate the other. If you love your oppressor, you're going to love what they love, hate what they hate. That's what He hates. He hates you and your people. So if you're going to develop self-hatred, then guess what? You're going to hate your people. That's psychological warfare. That, wrap it up. Shalom.